O'Éireann agus Harlar. On behalf of Sinn Féin, I want to welcome you here on this great centenary day of the proclamation of the Irish Republic. Fáilte róg a cóide ile, fáilte saoránaigh na Publiachta. Céad bliain ó shin, díreach ar an láthair seo, fógraíodh Poblacht na hÉireann. Agus anois, chun an forógra sin a léamh in Gaeilge, agus beidh sé á léamh roiith dúr ar an láthair seo inniu, ach an céad léamh a bheith ann ná in Gaeilge, I dteanga ártír ag éangas ó snodaigh teachtadála.
Poblacht na hÉireann, Ara agus bhaná na hÉireann, in anam dé agus clúnta na marmh ó na bhain si a cheann tradiisiún mar náisiún. Tá éire trína ag garam a chluine chuna bhreataí agus ag búla buile ar suna saoirse. Tá réiste agar agus ilúnta chuir a chuid fearr trína hagraíocht rún de réabhlóideach. Ráthach Poblacht na hÉireann, agus trína hagraíochtaí míle tá oscailta, óglaigh na harama, óglaigh na hÉireann, agus aram cathaire na hÉireann. Tréiste a rialbhéis a thabhairt go fáinnach chun fuireachta agus feibh go rúndaí dagan leis a bháil I féin áilsiú go tráthúil. Tá sí ag ghlacha na fallí sin anois agus a takeíocht ó na gláán atá ar deoraíocht in America, agus á cógúlathe calma san Eorop. Ach ag seasamh ar neart dílis féin ar an chéadtás. Tá sí ag búla buile agus I lán dósach go mbeirfí sí bua. Dearmhí muid gur ceart canasíocht deochlíta I ceart winter na hÉireann ar dhiailse na hÉireann agus ar cruach gan cosc ar cinút na hÉireann. Fórgháil an chéirt sin atá á imirt le fada ag pobal agus ag dréitlas achtarnach. Níor bhróg sé an ceart sin ná ní féidir I a bhóca go brach ach le dtíthiú winter na hÉireann. Gach lá glúan dá tháinig, dhearbhaigh winter na hÉireann na ceart ar saoirse agus ar fleachas náisiúnta. 6 uaire na 300 bliain na nuas a dhearbhaigh sí faoi Arabé. Ag seasamh doing ar an ceart budig sin agus a dhearbhú ar éis doing faoi aram os cór an tail. Frógraimid leis seo Poblacht na hÉireann ina stáid Canasach nafsplach agus chuirmid ar meo féin agus beor compánach aram I ngeall le saoirse lena las agus lena mór a mas na náisiún. Bliain Poblacht na hÉireann agus éilíonn leis seo díalteach winter ile na hÉireann idir fér agus bhaná. Ráithíonn an Poblacht saoirse credamh agus saoirse sibhialta cóchearta agus cóhéiseanna dá saoránaigh ile. Agus cearbhíonn go rúnda féchann chun séin agus snas an náisiún ile agus gach páirte de chlána ile an náisiún a chuimhnú go chotharam. Gan bean eici ar na difríochtaí ar cóthú rialtas cóthaíoch go córamach í agus taibh mionnig ó tromlach san am chuig thart. Go dtí go dtiocfaí anúin den neart ar aram rialtas náisiúnta buan a bhunú a dhéanamh ionadaíocht do winter ilig na hÉireann agus a thófar le bhótaí a chuid fearr agus ban ilig. Ceanfaí an rialtas sealadach a bhúlítar leis seo go nóí sibhialta agus míleata na Poblachta a réir ar imtífas haar ceann na muintere. Chuirmid cúis Poblacht na hÉireann faoi cimmarcha dia mór na hileacrúchtaí agus líon a bheanacht ar aram agus cuimid gach aon duine a bheits ag fónam sa cúis seo as éonar a tharraingtarthaí le míreachas le mídhéanacht agus tíomhharg. An uair seo na cinúna ní foláir de náisiún na hÉireann a chruthú le misneach agus le bhrialbhés agus le til le cluine I féin a íbert mar watha leis an chuitin gur fiú é an dán róúsal ná gartar é. Sheila Hartown, Rialtas Shaladach, ag Pádraig or Tomás O'Cleary, Sean McDermott, Tomás McDonough, Pádraig McPeirish, Eamon Camp, Seamus O'Conneilla agus Joseph Plunkhead.
Welcome, citizens of the Irish Republic of 1916, the Republic of all 32 counties. Exactly 100 years ago, the Irish Republic was proclaimed on this very spot.
This morning, we remember the day. We reaffirm the pledge of the proclamation. We honour the men and women who defended the Republic.
The green flag of Ireland, Molly O'Reilly. On Sunday, the 16th of April 1916, a young member of the Irish Women Workers' Union, Molly O'Reilly, raised the green flag of Ireland over Liberty Hall. The ceremony was presided over by James Connolly, Commandant General of the Irish Citizen Army. Connolly said,
"On that day, the Irish Citizen Army hoisted and unfurled the green flag of Ireland, emblazoned with the harp without the crown, as the sacred emblem of Ireland's unconquered soul."
The tricolour, Thomas Clark. The tricolour of green, white and orange was brought from revolutionary France by young Irelander Tomás Francis Meagher. It recalls Wolfe Tone, uniting all denominations of Irish men and Irish women, and it was the Republican flag of the Fenians. The spirit of Tone and Young Ireland and Fenianism were embodied in the first signatory of the proclamation, Thomas Clark, who said in his last message,
"I and my fellow signatories believe we have struck the first successful blow for freedom. The next blow, which we have no doubt Ireland will strike, will win true. In this belief we die happy." The flag of fėin. The youth of Republican Ireland was organised in the fėin, co-founded in 1909 by Countess Markievicz. Their flag was the sunburst with its hope of a new dawn for Irish freedom. Shortly before the rising, Markievicz, patron and leader of fėin, wrote,
"We are ready to fight for the Ireland we love, be the chances great or small. We are willing to die for the flag above, be the chances nothing at all."
The flag of Cumann. Founded in 1914, Cumann organised the women of Ireland in the cause of freedom. Margaret Skinner of Glasgow and Monaghan was one of the bravest. She wrote,
"For a long time after the rising, I dreamed every night about it. The dream was not as it actually took place, for the outcome was always successful. My awakening was a bitter disappointment. Yet the memory of our failure is a greater memory than many of us ever dared to hope. The flag of Ulster. Reared in the glens of Antrim, Roger Casement loved Ulster and all of Ireland. From the glens he went to the Congo and the Amazon, and always he upheld the banner of human rights and human freedom. On trial for his life in London, his words rang out across the world.
Ireland is treated today among the nations of the world as if she were a convicted criminal. If it be treason to fight against such an unnatural fate as this, then I am proud to be a rebel, and I shall cling to my rebellion with the last drop of my blood.
The flag of Connacht. From County Leitrim came Sean McDermott. From County Galway came Eamon Ceant. Fired with fėinism, both men worked night and day for Irish freedom. They lived the words of Thomas Davis's song, The West's Awake.
But hark, a voice like thunder spake, the West's awake, the West's awake. Sing, oh, hurrah, let England quake, we'll watch till death for Erin's sake.
The flag of Leinster. From an old Leinster family, a Dubliner, a poet and intellectual, a mystic and a military strategist, Joseph Plunkett. His poem, 1867, addressed to England, was both a tribute to the Fenians and a prophecy.
In the days of our doom and our dread, ye were cruel and callous. Grim death with our fighters ye fed, through the jaws of the gallows. But a blasting and blight was the fee, for which ye had bartered them, and we smite with the sword that from ye we had gained when ye martyred them.
Flag of Munster. From County Tipperary in the heart of Munster, Thomas MacDonagh was a teacher, a writer, a dramatist and poet. He worked in Scoilena with Padraig Pearse and commanded in Jacob's factory in Easter week.
I have been actuated by one motive only, the love of my country, the desire to make her a sovereign, independent state. I still hope and pray that my acts may have for consummation her lasting freedom and happiness.
The Starry Plough. Was the flag of James Connolly's Irish Citizen Army. In Easter week, it flew over the Imperial Hotel, now Cleary's, where in the 1913 lockout, the police had attacked the people on Bloody Sunday. Connolly asked,
"We are out for Ireland, for the Irish. But who are the Irish? Not the rat-renting, slum-owning landlord, not the sweating, profit-grinding capitalist, not the sleek and oily lawyer, not the prostitute pressmen, the hired liars of the enemy. Not these, but the Irish working class, the only secure foundation on which a free nation can be reared."
the flag of the Irish Republic. The banner of the Irish Republic was first flown here on this day a century ago. The President of the Provisional Government of the Republic was P.H. Pearse. Inadán, Misha Éire, Léirigh an Píorseach Nóra na hÉireann, agus I faoi smacht ag an bhratún.
Misha Éire, singe mé ná an chaileach béire, mór ma glór, mé de rud cúchulainn cróga, mór ma náire, ma chláán féin de díal am áhar. Misha Éire, uigní mé ná an chaileach béire.
But Pearse said that Easter week wiped out the shame of slavery.
We have lived to see an Irish Republic proclaimed. May we live to establish it firmly, and may our children and our children's children enjoy the happiness and prosperity which freedom will bring. Harja, Forógra, the Publicta, Leite, ag Pádraig Mac Piarish.
The Provisional Government of the Irish Republic, to the people of Ireland. Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God, and of the dead generations from which she receives her own tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organised and trained her manhood through a secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment, and supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished, except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their rights to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it to arms. Standing on that fundamental right, and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state. And we pledge our lives, and the lives of our comrades in arms, to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to, and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and all of its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an alien government which have divided a minority from the majority in the past. Until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women, the Provisional Government, hereby constituted, will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause
will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity, or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clark, Sean McDermott, Thomas McDonough, P.H. Pearce, Eamon Camp, James Connolly, Joseph Plunkett.
We have heard 100 years to the day and the hour the proclamation of the Irish Republic read here at the GPO. But that was only the beginning of the story. And in every generation since Easter week 1916, Republicans again and again have taken the courageous decision that the men and women of Easter week took. Because at the start of that week, 100 years ago yesterday, they had a choice to make. They had to choose whether or not to fight and to make a stand. And in every generation since then, Republicans have made that choice. They have made a stand and they have fought for freedom. They have had setbacks and tragedies and sometimes defeats. But we have always striven on towards the goal of the Republic. And we have had among us many leaders who have led us as comrades in the struggle, and none more so than our main speaker today. Please welcome Martin McGuinness.
Galir, agus tá fáilte romh, agus tá achas for orm, a fėin seo live ar maidin. Irish women and Irish men, it is for me, a Republican from Derry, the greatest honour to deliver this oration here today at the very place where Paddy Pearce declared the birth of the Irish Republic on this day 100 years ago. On that day, a small group of men and women took on the might of the British Empire and struck a blow for freedom that would reverberate across the globe and down through the generations. We are here 100 years on to honour them for the heroes and the patriots they were, and we make no apology for anyone. Each and every one of the women and men who mobilised that Easter Monday knew what their likely fate would be. But they stepped forward with a calm courage and determination that even 100 years on is totally awe-inspiring. They were workers, they were thinkers, they were poets, they were teachers, they were patriots and visionaries. They were Republicans and Socialists who saw all around them in the tenement slums of Dublin the deeply destructive effects of British rule. And they decided to act not in their own self-interest, but in the interest of the Irish people and the future generations. Our pride in them knows no bounds. We salute their audacity. We salute their bravery. We salute their vision of a free, sovereign and independent 32-county Irish Republic. Their mission statement was the proclamation, read for the first time at this very spot. That mission statement was far ahead of its time, offering equality, democracy, and social justice, when the world knew very little at that time of these concepts. The republic that they declared that day is still to be fully realised. The completion of the struggle, which began in this spot 100 years ago, remains the most urgent work facing this generation of Irish Republican activists. For Sinn Fėin, the work of building a new, inclusive and progressive Ireland is a work in progress, and here today we reiterate our commitment to securing, in the words of the proclamation, the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies. And the greatest fracture in securing that right remains the partition of Ireland. For 100 years, the established parties in the south not only failed to address the fracture in the Irish nation, but disgracefully they abandoned northern nationalists to a sordid sectarian state. Successive Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael governments in Dublin did stand idly by when repression, inequality and sectarianism was visited on Irish citizens in the north. But folks, the days of second-class citizenship are over. They are over and they are gone forever. Not because of anything that the Dublin establishment has done, but because of the sacrifice, the courage and the determination of this generation of Irish Republicans. Sinn Féin is the only political party on this island working to end that fracture in our nation and to achieving the republic set out in the proclamation. The vision of 1916 is alive and well here today, and indeed right across this island. On Friday, on my way to Dublin, I met a group of primary school children in Uri, County Down, involved in a history project which included their own version of the proclamation. They did so against the backdrop of the images of the 7 leaders of the 1916 Rising. I was delighted when they presented me with a copy of the 2016 proclamation as they saw it. And it said, "We demand that all the people of Ireland have a safe and warm home as every person deserves. Homelessness, they went on, homelessness must come to an end. All families should have a nice warm meal every night. We demand that all children have the highest standard of education possible." My opinion, those primary school children have more political principle and maturity than many of our self-serving political parties. So what's the challenge for all of us in the years and months and weeks ahead? That challenge is to complete the work set in motion when Pearson Connolly, Clark and Kent, McDermott, McDonough and Joseph Mary Plunkett signed their names to that seminal document 100 years ago today. Irish Republicans are determined to deliver on the 1916 proclamation. We also need to deliver on the innocent but insightful proprieties set out in the proclamation written by those young children in 2016 in County Down. So the spirit of 1916 is as relevant and inspiring today as it was a century ago, 100 years ago. The world did gaze in deep amaze at those who stood against the might of the British Empire on the very streets of this city. We have an enormous responsibility to deliver on their optimism. Today in this place that still resonates with the bravery and vision of the rebels, we are sending a very clear message that the spirit of freedom embodied in the 1916 proclamation is alive and well in the cities, towns and villages of Ireland. So, in 2016, let us all join the rising. And the only final message is this, very, very clear. Up the rebels and up...
And you show your appreciation again for a man who has led from the front all his life, Martin McGuinness. If you look about you here today in O'Connell Street, you will see thousands of people. This turnout today is way beyond our expectations. Thousands of people have turned up today to hear the proclamation and to hear us rededicate ourselves to the Irish Republic. And if you think about it, the men and women who went out in Easter week, they were only a fraction of the numbers of people standing here today. On that first day, something like 1,500 men and women. And yet, that brave but few band stood up and took on the British Empire. We are infinitely proud of them, and we will never disown them, unlike some. After the proclamation was read and the buildings were occupied, including the GPO, the first shots of the rising were fired. And in memory of that, and remembrance of that, we have the Cabra Historical Society here, who will fire a volley. Before we proceed to the conclusion of our event, I just want to remind you that at 2 p.m. we'll be assembling on Merrion Square for the Reclaim 1916 parade and pageant. I see our friend Robert Balla here today. I want to commend him and all those who have worked to put that event together. And let's ensure this afternoon that it is, as this is also, the people's celebration, not behind barriers, not with VIPs, but the people of Ireland.
was defended in arms. 16 leaders were executed. The struggle was renewed, and Connolly's words were fulfilled. We shall rise again.
Thomas Ashe led the fight in Fingal. Múntar, Caintar Dúchas ó Chunta Círí, Uachtarán Bhrachas na Publicta in Éideaga Séideach. Thomas Ashe, a teacher and native Irish speaker from Kerry, a piper and founder of the Black Raven Pipe Band. He was president of the Supreme Council of the Irish Republican Brotherhood. In 1917, he began a hunger strike against criminalisation and died from the effects of forced feeding in Mountjoy jail. He was the first of the 22 Irish Republicans in the 20th century who died on hunger strike. And here on this day of the proclamation, we proudly remember them all. "35 years on from the 1981 hunger strike, we remember them. Thomas Ashe said, 'They have branded me a criminal. Even if I do die, I die in a good cause.' And Bobby Sands said,
'I may die, but the Republic of 1916 will never die.' Onwards to that Republic and the liberation of our people!
Huh?